Preliminary Piano Course, Lesson 5. Note and rest values. For every note, there is a rest of the same value, or a number of counts. Introducing a new kind of note, eighth notes. These are eighth notes or quavers. On its own, the eighth note gets 1/2 a beat. You count 8 notes in halves by saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or count 1, 2, 3, 4 or. When 2 8 notes are linked together, they look like this. The line at the top or bottom that joins 8 notes is called a beam. Press any key on the piano 8 times and count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You will say one number for the first 8 note, then and for the second note, and so on. Press any note on the piano and tap your foot for each time you press. More about 8 notes. Here are some ways that 8 notes can appear in music. The stems can be up or down, and the beams can be on the top like the ones below or on the bottom. A single 8 note, 2 beamed 8 notes, 4 beamed 8 notes. Listen to the demo of this song being played. It is a practice in quavers or eighth notes. Now you play and count the song below. Remember to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Little Quaver Sonata. Notes and rests values. For every note, there is a rest with the same name and value. Try to memorize this. Look at the table below. Each kind of note and rest has 2 different names. A classical name which is used by all countries except USA, and an American name. Notice that there is a rest with the same name and value as every note. Stems up or down. The stem of a music note can go up or down. If the stem goes up, it's always on the right of the note head or a secular part of the note. If the stem goes down, it's always on the left of the note head or a secular part of the note. Remember that there are 5 lines on a staff. The middle line or third line is in the middle of the staff. If the note head or a secular part of the note is above the middle line, its stem points downwards and on the left. If the note head or a secular part of the note is below the middle line, its stem points upwards on the right. If the note is on the middle line of the staff, its stem can go up or down. If the note has other notes next to it, its stem direction is decided by the stem directions of any notes next to it, or beam groups. Notes you have already learned. You have already learned the notes in middle C position. Play the melody below, noticing the counting. Notice that you will need to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because the song has quavers or eighth notes. 5-finger song. recognizing and remembering the new bass notes. Each note on the staff tells you to play an exact Y key on the piano. This is E in the bass. It's the note below F that you have already been playing. Notice that E isn't a whole note here. Play E with your third finger on your left hand. Your pinky will be on C. Try to memorize the bass note E as you play it. Play the key as many times as you need to memorize where it is on the staff and the piano. Another new bass note. This is D in the bass. It's the note below E that you just learned above. Notice that D is written in whole notes in the music and that it's a line note. Play D with your fourth finger on your left hand. Try to memorize the bass note D as you play it. Play the key as many times as you need to memorize where it is on the staff and the piano. Another new bass note. This is C in the bass. You have learned middle C in lesson 1. This is bass or low C. This C is 8 keys lower on the keyboard from middle C. It's the note below D that you have just learned above. Notice that C is a spaced note here and it's in a whole note. Play C with your fifth finger on your left hand. Try to memorize the note C in the bass as you play it. Play the key as many times as you need to memorize where it is on the staff and the piano. Practice. Play and count the melody below. Notice the fingering for the notes. Your fifth finger, pinky, will be on C. Your fourth finger, ring finger, will be on D. And your third finger, middle finger, will be on E. Memorizing notes. You have now learned all the notes in the bass from low or bass C to middle C. Notice that there are 8 notes in the bass on the staff below C. You have now learned and played all of these notes on the keyboard. Notice that the notes below are written as 8 notes. And the notes on the staff below are the same notes that are shown on the keyboard picture above. Activity. Remember, in lesson 1 you learned the musical alphabet and we're saying it backwards and forwards 3 times. Do this again now. Say the musical ABC 3 times forwards and 3 times backwards. Now, starting from C, say the musical ABC 3 times forwards and 3 times backwards. Now look at the notes on the staff below. Starting at the middle C, say the note's names backwards and point to the note as you say its name. Now, using your second finger pointer, look at the notes on the bass staff above and press the key on the piano of the note you are looking at. Do this as many times as you need to, so you can memorize the note names on the staff and their position on the piano. Activity. Now, using your second finger pointer, look at the notes on the bass staff above and press the key on the piano of the note you are looking at. Do this as many times as you need to recognize the note on the staff and its position on the piano. Practice. Look at the melody below. Name each note in the melody. Try to do this without looking at the example above. Now play the melody below. Be sure to notice the rhythm. Recognizing and remembering new treble notes. Now we are learning 3 new notes in the treble. Each note on the staff tells you to play in exact white key on the piano. This is A in the treble. Notice it's a space note in the second space of the treble staff from the bottom, and it's the note above G in the treble that you have already been playing. Notice that A is written in whole notes here. Play A with your third finger on your right hand. Your finger 1 or thumb will be on F. Try to memorize the note A in the treble as you play it. Play the key as many times as you need to memorize it. Another new treble note. This is B in the treble. Notice that it's a line note on the line and that it's the note above A that you just learned. Notice that B is written in whole notes here. Play B with your fourth finger on your right hand. Your first finger or thumb will be on F. Try to memorize the note B in the treble as you play it. Play the key as many times as you need to memorize it. Another new treble note. This is C in the treble. We call this high C or treble C. Notice that it's in a space, third space from the bottom of the treble staff, and that it's the note above B that you just learned. Notice that C is in whole notes here. Play C with your fifth finger, pinky, on your right hand. Your first finger or thumb will be on F. Try to memorize the treble note C as you play it. Play the key as many times as you need to recognize it on the staff and on the piano. Practice. Name each of the notes in the melody below. Now listen to the way it is played and counted. Then play and count the melody. Notice the fingering for the notes. Your fifth finger, pinky, will be on C. Your fourth finger, ring finger, will be on B. And your third finger, middle finger, will be on A. Play and count the melody as many times as you need to, so that you can easily play it. Memorizing notes. You have now learned all the notes in the treble from middle C to high C. Notice that there are 8 notes in the treble on the staff above C. You have now learned and played these notes on the staff and keyboard. Notice that the notes are written as quavers or eighth notes. And the notes on the staff below are the same notes that are shown on the keyboard picture above. Activity. First, say the name of the notes below forwards and backwards. Now, using your second finger, pointer, look at the notes on the staff below and press the key of the notes you are looking at. Do this as many times as you need to memorize the note names and their position on the piano. Practice. Look at the melody below. Name each note in the melody. Try to do this without looking at the example before this. Now listen to it being played. Play me fast. Now play the melody below. Be sure to notice the rhythm. Play this as many times as you need to get each note and the rhythm correct. Practice. Look at the melody below. Name each note in the melody. Try to do this without looking at the example before this. Now listen to it being played. Merry Widow Waltz. Now play the melody below. Be sure to notice the rhythm. Play this as many times as you need to get each note and the rhythm correct. Well done! You have completed Lesson 5. Congratulations!